Hello, 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 everybody. It is Matt and it is Fiendish Friday, and I am back at you with yet another review. Before I roll on to any of that, I want to wish each and every one of you a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that lovely stuff, because life really is too short as is. Do me a really huge favor and like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing your beautiful faces when you are here. I know I'm here an awful lot, but I have an awful lot on my plate to review. And one last little tidbit of info. Check out the description box. I give you a bigger bite of every single movie of every single day, such as a brief synopsis, a starring cast, the director, runtime of the cut I am watching, a link for where you can purchase this one, and then if you decide, you can help support Matt's Movie Mania and toss me a couple of bucks. Now that I got all that said, and all that out of the way, let's roll on to the film of the day. And today's is a very interesting film. Definitely one I'm not sure if I'll see anytime again in the near future. Maybe from a few years from now, because it not that it is a bad movie. It's just very, very deep, and it can really, I guess, bring you down a little bit, because it is so serious and really packs a punch. You know, it's one of those that you see it once, you've seen, you really can move on to other films from this director. I'm a huge fan of Marian Dora's films, especially Melancholy Durango. I think that is just a masterpiece, minus a few things here and there. I'm not going to get into that. That's not why I'm here. Today I am reviewing the 2024 release from Marian Dora called Opus Hominis. This is being released from our good friends at New Film Order. Thank you so much again, David, for letting me watch this and do a review. This is a very, very deep, dark ride. I think this is probably the darkest movie on their catalog. If you want something that's going to make you feel dirty after watching, then pick up a copy of this. It definitely is very grimy. Now let's roll on to about it. It's running at 56 minutes. The first one, or I don't know if the way I watched them is the order that they are on the actual DVD of it, but I'm just going to give it in the order that they were for me. So the first one I'm going to start off with is called Science. It runs about 6 minutes ish. I'm just kind of guesstimating on the time that we'll lower that a little bit. Guesstimating on the run times a little bit, because I could be off by small fractions here and there, but it's guesstimated at about six minutes. It's called Science. This one was probably the only one I really didn't like. Basically, what we got going on here is they're doing some experiments on German Shepherds. I thought it was sad, especially seeing them not only operating on them, but there was one that was I don't know if it was sick, dying, or was just doped up beyond its mind, that it didn't know what's going on. That one is pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. I usually don't. The animal cruelty stuff usually doesn't bother me, especially. I know this is controversial and all. If it serves as food, chances are I'm not going to get offended by it. because we all got to eat. And yes, I am a carnivore. I do love meat, and I'm not going to stop eating it just because there are things that happen in this world that are basically beyond our grasp to be able to make it stop. I mean, you're not going to make carnivores stop being carnivores. It's just this one just really it kind of made me sad as a fan of German Shepherds, because I've had one in the past and it was a great dog. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next one, which is carnophage, or carnophage. I'm just gonna say that. It is another one that runs at about 6 minutes ish. It's slaughterhouse footage of sheep, and like it gets to the point to where you're watching them I don't know what you would say, defer them, how they pull the skins off and try to get it off in one whole piece. That's what we got going on in there. It gets a little, I'm sure it would get sad to some people, hearing the sheep cry out that, and ba, whatever the hell you want to call it, that they do. Some people probably be upset with it. Me, it didn't bother me. Call me a psychopath or not, I don't care. I just know the difference between this is not just entertainment. There's a lot of power to this. So I know the difference between just pure entertainment value opposed to something making a statement. Now, that is one thing about a Marian Dora film. Each and every one of them makes a bold and powerful statement, whether you're watching Melancholy or Carcinoma, Cannibal, or even the one I haven't seen, Voyage to Agatis, or even Marian Dean. I mean, they all have powerful punches. I would say his entire filmography, but I'll be here all day. But it's really interesting how this one turns out. It's like 90% slaughterhouse footage, and then the rest has other stuff in between. Like you go into the Opus Hominis, that one, part one, it runs at about 15 minutes. And I'm looking on my notes here because with something like this, I needed to take notes. This one is about cows being slaughtered. And then it's basically about the shady things that they do to save a buck or two, and then possibly gain whatever it is they're looking, which is profits. Then we got Opus Hominis 2. It's more slaughterhouse footage. This time it rolls from cows to hogs. Seeing a hog getting slaughtered was, I grew up in a farming state. Been to many farming communities, so I've seen this before. This stuff, it's old hat at this point. Like every shock artist has done. I feel like they've done something with a real animal at this point. The only thing is not very many people have the eye or the beauty of filming the way that Marian does. He can make something as ugly as that and make it very viewable. Granted, it makes you upset in places, but it quickly moves on to make you. It makes you really tests your senses. Because it goes from something super sad to the German Shepherd to the sheep, which are whatever, and then the cows and the hogs. I eat cow a lot, so I that didn't bother me one bit either. And then you roll on to the next one, which is erotic fantasy. That one is running about 7 minutes ish. It has more animal sacrifice type stuff. This time it has a little bit more to it. The body parts, there's little bits and pieces of the body that are rubbed all over this girl. And then they do something to the girl that made me cringe. Because, even as a man, you have these, and when one gets cut off, I imagine it hurts a lot. I know Filthina Pig cut off hers for a video, which is just insane. But you move on to that into this one, which is quite interesting. And then there's the last one, which is Christian B, and that one runs at about 10 minutes. That one opens with a car crash. They're doing really cool effects with skin grafts and rebuilding of the body parts and basically what happens after life and death after life after death and death after life. It's one of those kind of scenarios where it really makes you think about in the future, when you do die, hopefully that you are taken care of very well by your embalmers or morticians, whatever you want to call them. Let's just hope that nothing horrible happens. Hopefully we're not picked up by a horoscope. Rest in peace, Fräulein. Anyways, alright, that's all I really want to talk about as far as the movie goes itself. I'm going to move on to my 3 things that I love my movies to me. First is audio. The audio, as usual, in a Marian Dora film is very crisp, cool, and clean. There is never anything wrong with it. The guy puts out the most professional work that I've seen in a really long time for as far as underground exploitation films go. He is one of the greatest. I feel like if there was an underground sleaze exploitation Mount Rushmore, his face, if he ever showed his face, because the guy ran under anonymity for his entire career, but if we put his blurred face on the mountain there, because he has just done so much for the underground community, and I don't think that people really can see past certain things that he has in his movies. If you want to watch something of his that is on a much tamer level, watch Carcinoma. I think that is his most tamest film out of the group. Definitely don't start with Melancholy or Cannibal. I started with Cannibal actually. You will, if you're not expecting it, you will be blown away by some extremely grotesque things. But as a horror junkie, I say bring it on. So I'm going to give it an A plus on its audio. Now dialogue, there is 0 dialogue, none, 9, zilch, nada. And so I can't give it a grade there. So we're going to move past that, move on to editing. Editing, is, as usual in a Marian Dora film, is also very good. It keeps a great pace. I'm glad they didn't end the film with the dog segment. I'm glad they ended it with the car crash. The last 2 segments, ending it with actual humans with practical effects, I'm guessing is what was used. I doubt that he recorded a real skin grafting. I just don't see that happening. Anyways, but I think the editing is very good in this one, and I'm going to give it an A plus on that end. Now on to my final score of 1 through 5. I want to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Even though I know this film will upset a lot of people. So take in mind that there is a lot of slaughterhouse footage in this, and if you want to buy it, do buy it, because especially if you're a fan of Marian Dora. But otherwise, mainstreamers stay far away from this, because you'll be pissed. Just saying. Anyways, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I love your faces as always, and peace.